I would like to apologize for the images you're about to see. So this is my 75-gallon aquarium that used to be home to Billy Bass, a largemouth bass, and Brim Boy, a brim. I don't know, American brim. And as you can see, they're not in here anymore. But don't worry, they went to a good home. They just got too big for this aquarium, so I gave them to a buddy of mine who has a backyard pond, and they're going to live happily ever after because they are a wild-caught fish. And since they've been gone, this aquarium has gotten zero love and has just been a dumping ground for other aquariums that were torn apart, a sales tank for me to just sell everything that was in it, and a breeding ground apparently for crayfish. See, I used to feed the largemouth bass little small crayfish. Well, there were none in the aquarium for quite a while, but I guess one of them had eggs or something, and well, nature will prevail.
Life, finds a way.
But don't worry, because if you saw the thumbnail, you know there's a bigger plan for this aquarium and we're going to turn it around. With the help of Landon, who graciously sponsored this video, we're going to turn this forgotten cesspool into a nano fish paradise. And there's even something in it for you guys. Landon has given me an entire case of each of these 3 water treatment products. We got some bacteria, we got 2 different types of fertilizers here, and 12 of you are going to get one of each of these products for free. So more about the giveaway later, but let's focus on the aquarium right now. Now, as far as stability is concerned, this aquarium is functioning perfectly. The ecosystem is 100% established. The plants that are still in there are, well, they're growing pretty nicely. The Anubias is kind of settled in and really taken root. Everything's going good. Even the crayfish here, you can see, are real happy just scuttling around and cleaning things up. There's a lot of them in there. Even the snails are happy. The red root floaters are happy, well, other than the ones that have unfortunately been immersed for too long. And we can't argue that this pothos plant has thoroughly been enjoying life, sucking all of the nitrates and stuff out of the water. But you know who's not happy? My wife. See, this aquarium is in our bedroom, and it used to be a focal point of the room and a great point of relaxation for us as we lay in bed winding down at the end of the day. But nobody likes to stare at this thing. Now, I've been doing YouTube long enough to know how long this project's going to take and how long this video is going to be. So grab a snack and buckle up because it's going to be kind of a long one. But I'm going to make it as fast as possible by doing things like not showing you the teardown. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to film a bunch of stuff. So first step is obviously tearing the aquarium down. I'm going to take the filter out, clean it, get it prepped, you know, for as if it was brand new. I'm going to drain the water out, get all the plants out. Some of the substrate here I'm going to keep. I don't want all these little white rocks in here, so I'm going to use a sieve thing and get all of the white pebbles out, keep the black substrate. Landon has provided more aqua soil for us for the rescape, so I'm going to combine those 2 together. I'll try and keep it in the water, maybe keep that bacteria alive. We can jumpstart the next cycle. So that's what I'm going to do. You kind of see what's going on in here. Everything's going to come out. I'm going to strip it down to a plain 75-gallon aquarium again, and that's where you're going to see it next. Any questions at all, feel free to drop stuff in the comments. I just don't want to bore you with like fish removal and catching all of the little crayfish and, you know, stuff like that. You want to see the build. So with the magic of video editing, we've gone from this to this. Now, it's actually the next day. It took way longer to get all the plants and everything out of there than I had anticipated last night. And then today, it took way longer than I thought to get all the substrate out, use a little sifter and sort it all. I've got 2 buckets, one with just junk substrate and the other one with the sifted substrate that I'm going to reuse. Got a whole 5-gallon bucket of that substrate sifted. Let me show you real quick. So here's the bucket with the junk substrate that I don't know, going to keep for filler for some other project or something. And then here is the sifted substrate. Like I said, pretty much a whole 5-gallon bucket. Took me, I don't know, hours to do this. So there's probably some beneficial bacteria left in there. So I'm going to leave this covered to keep everything moist. Maybe the bacteria will stay bacterial. I don't know. Alive. That's the word I'm looking for. So what I want to do now, and it's the last thing I'm going to do tonight, and then we're going to put this off another day to start scaping tomorrow morning. I want to get a background on there. I have some frosted film, but I don't know if I have enough. So real time, you're going to find out if I have enough or not. So here's all my frosted film remnants, and I guess I was thinking ahead back in the day because I have a fresh roll right here. If one's going to be long enough, it's definitely going to be this one. So we'll go ahead and open this up real quick. Now this is just frosted window film that's cheap. I got on Amazon. Search it. I think I have a link somewhere down in my others, way down in the list there, in the video description. But just search frosted window film on Amazon. You'll find some cheap deals up there. They're all the same. Pick one. All right, I don't remember the length of this stuff, so let's find out together if it's going to be long enough. I know it's tall enough. Oh yeah, look at that. Going to be long enough. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this on the back side of the aquarium, and then we'll be back, well, so you can see it on the back side of the aquarium. And there we have it, a frosted 75-gallon aquarium. Worked out pretty good. No bubbles or any issues like that, but I'm sure you know how to install window film on an aquarium, so we won't talk any more about that. Good morning. Well, at least for me, it's morning. I don't know when you're watching this video, but it's the next day, and I know I look the same, but don't worry, I washed my shirt. So we're all ready to do this scape here. But for those viewers that are in the middle of this video and actually watching it, I want to talk to you about the giveaway that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So it's pretty simple to enter the giveaway. If you want to get one each of all 3 of these products, all you have to do is leave a comment on this video. What I'm going to do is use one of those random comment selectors on the internet to pick 12 winners from this video. Now, don't get sneaky and try and do 100 comments just saying hi or something like that. If you spam my channel, you will be disqualified from the giveaway. Now, once the winners are selected, I want to make sure that we don't have any scammers take advantage of you. So there's one caveat to winning this giveaway. You have to have an email address listed in your YouTube bio. So on your channel, go to About, and then you should have a spot to put an email. But I need to see a public listed email address on your profile. And here's why. See, to prevent scammers from taking advantage of you, I'm not going to have you contact me because that's how the scammers twist it and say they're you, and I'm not going to get into it. But I'm going to contact you. So I need an email address that I know when I contact you, it's really you. The contact email that you're going to receive from me is ssaquascapes@gmail. I'll put it on the screen right here. ssaquascapes@gmail. If you get an email from anything, any variation different than what you see on the screen, it is not me. So make sure you have an email in your bio. I'll contact you once you've been selected by the little random comment generator thing. You'll get an email from me. I'll get your address. We'll send you out the product. Simple? All right, let's get on with the build. All right, now I want to apologize for the lack of interesting camera views you're going to see in the remainder of this video. Let me explain why. I don't have much space where I'm setting this aquarium up. Right there is my bed, the foot of my bed, and there's not much room. Well, let me show you. So if I pan this camera down, you're going to see very quickly, there's the edge of my bed. So I don't have much space here to work in. So I have limited camera angles. I just try and get the best ones for you so you guys can see what's going on. And a lot of it is going to be this angle. but you're also going to get kind of straight on angles and some close-ups of the build as well. So first thing we want to do is look at some products. You already know that we're going to be doing these water treatment products and fertilizers, but that's for later, so we'll get rid of that. We've got a diffuser here from LANDEN. We don't need that yet, so let's get rid of that. We've got some aqua soil here. We're going to need that, but not right at this moment, so let's get rid of that. And that leaves us with some rocks and some spiderwood. Now, I've already opened the rocks here because I like to make sure things aren't damaged and broken. Well, I take that back. I opened the spiderwood too, but I haven't really looked at either one of them. And so let's take a look. And yes, if you're wondering, I really threw all those products on the bed. Don't tell my wife. Okay, this is Mountain Stone by LANDEN. You can get it at landenaqua.com. You can get all these products at landenaqua.com. Let's take a look what we got in here. We got a nice little booklet here. I'm assuming this is going to show you all of their different hardscapes. It does. Tells you where they get them from. That's pretty cool. You know, it's going to tell you where they're harvested and how LANDEN came about to get these stones. Really cool. That's actually, I'm going to keep this as a matter of fact. It tells you a little bit about, say, like dragonstone, the net weight of what you're going to get. Maybe some setup ideas over here, if you can see that. It's a really cool little book. I saw the book in here, but I didn't really flip through it. That's cool. Good reference for me. I'm going to keep that. All right, let's get into the rocks here. Just kind of quickly show you a couple pieces, then I'll set them all out on the table here. But this is what we got. It's kind of like a tan sandstone, if you will, but has the texture of mini landscape rock. So that's pretty cool. Nice little flat piece here. Let's see what else we got real quick. See if I can find a nice big piece. What I like about the LANDEN kits is they give you a good variety of like little pieces, medium pieces, large pieces. Let me see if I can find a large piece. You see they try and pack it pretty well so that they don't get damaged or broken. That's a really interesting piece. Look at that guy. That's really cool. Just like, well, it's sandstone, but it's not sandstone. I don't know. Hard to explain. Regular weight. I mean, it's a rock. Trying to give you the best information I can. Let me get all of this out of here. We'll set it on the table. You can look briefly at all the pieces here. I'm trying to keep this video as concise as possible. All right, we got them all laid out here. Maybe I can get you a little bit better angle there. We got our main stone. You always get like a main big stone. You can see for reference my hand here. In these kits, you always get a big one. You get secondary stone, I would say, some medium stones, and then your little small accent stones. And that's one thing I really like about these kits. They are hand-picked by the LANDEN crew, and they try and put it together so that you can do a full aquascape. Now, being that we're using these in a 75-gallon, this wouldn't be enough to do like an Iwagumi-style scape in a 75-gallon. These kits, I say, would be up to a 20-gallon would be really good to use these kits if you want to load it with rock, up to a 40-gallon if you want to do a more modest aquascape. But there are some cool pieces here, and I will be able to utilize these as accents for our main feature, which is going to be spiderwood. So here's a box of spiderwood that LANDEN sent over, and I have, again, opened it to make sure it wasn't damaged, but have not fished all the spiderwood out of here because whoever packed this did a really good job. It's all kind of one big chunk. It's all interlaced here. So you're going to see it as I see it. I'm not sure what pieces we have here, because I knew I would never get it back in the box if I took it out to start. All right, so we got 4 good-sized pieces in this kit here, but being spiderwood, you can't tell what piece is what. So let's do them individually real quick so you can see. What I do like is LANDEN always gives you like a little tag or something that tells you about the product that you bought, how they got it, how you can use it. It even tells you down here, don't forget to glue them down as they will float when you put them in your aquascape. So really cool. The little attention to detail with LANDEN is why I like working with this company. So we have this piece here. Well, I guess it's not centered, is it? There we go. We have this piece here. Pretty good, pretty cool. Let me see if I can bump the brightness up a little bit. You'll be able to see better. Give you a scale on it here, kind of my arm, about the length of your forearm. All the pieces are about that size. This piece is really interesting as well. For scale, I like the little twist. I know one of those rocks is going to fit right in here, and that's going to be perfect. Have a little smaller accent piece here for scale, a little bit shorter than my forearm. And another nice wild piece here with a perfect little nook to stick a rock. All right, I hope I didn't lose you there on the unboxing clips, but I like you guys to get kind of a little detail on what you can expect if you want to order one of these kits. I think they're a great value. I'll put the pricing for each of those boxes on the screen here now. And as you can see, there is a good value there based on kind of what you get and the fact that everything is truly hand selected. They try to put like a kit together for you. All right, guys, I've been playing around for a while here, and I think I found something pretty interesting to do with the materials that we have. Let me show you my idea. But imagine we have substrate in here already to raise this up. But what if we have some rocks and then the wood and stuff kind of comes down over the rock? Maybe you can get an idea there. Let me zoom it in. Maybe kind of something like that there. Maybe this one goes here, something like this. I don't know if I get it to balance. Probably not. I'll hold it there. See, a little something like that. Now again, imagine that there's some substrate. We create some height. Some of these are up higher and stuff. Now I think that's the way to go, right? And that will maximize what we already have. If I need another bigger piece of spider wood or something to kind of fill it out, I have some other pieces I bought from my local fish store. So we might be able to incorporate those as well. Really fill this aquarium up here. It's going to be a nano fish aquarium, so lots of little spaces for them to swim in and out of. But we can fill this up with hardscape and plants and make a really interesting layout. Step one, though, because I don't know exactly how or what composition style I want, I'm going to get the base aqua soil in there. You remember that big bucket that we sifted? I'm going to put all that stuff in the bottom here. That's our base layer. And that stuff's going to blend well with the LANDEN aqua soil because this stuff is pure black, just like the former substrate, which, by the way, was SeaChem fluorite and the fluorite black. So they should mix together pretty well. I'm going to do this in cut style. Like I said, we don't want this to be too long of a video. And you don't need to see me pushing and moving and shaping aqua soil, right? So I'm going to get some things set up, give you a progress update. Okay, so kind of a status of where we're at here. I've figured out that I needed some support underneath. So I took these LANDEN filter bags that come with every filter, and I started filling them with media. And these media bags went underneath the older aqua soil. So I used the mix of gravel and substrate that I sifted out to fill these media bags. We have a platform that we can set the rocks on and they won't sink down into the aqua soil, because when you put water in the aquarium, all of this is going to want to slope and even out and all that. All right, guys and girls, here's where we're at now. You can see we've got a little bit of scaping going on, some rock, some wood. That's aquascaping. Now, I think it looks pretty good so far. You can see my progression here. I've still got one of these media bags filled up here. Kind of support, as you see. It just keeps the wood from, well, and the rock, I mean, from sliding down there, and keeps the aqua soil kind of in place. I hope all of this doesn't just cascade down. We are going to fill in the front a little bit, maybe some supporting stones. So there's your little update on the Aquascape as it sits now. I have, of course, a lot more to do, so I'm going to keep working here, and I'll give you another update. It's been a few hours now. Yep, a few hours. Man, it took a while to kind of start to get this together where it looked natural and looked like a root ball or something. The scape has changed from the original plan, which is typically what happens when you start one of these big projects. You think you're going to do it this way, and then you end up going in another direction. But we kind of have triangle style layout. I want to do that because the door to our bedroom is right over there. So when you come in, you're going to be looking at it from this angle. This is what I have come up with. I've used all 4 pieces of spider wood that LANDEN provided for us. And I just kind of try to follow lines like this one here. Those diagonal lines. There's actually 2 pieces of spider wood joined on top of each other right here that you can see. We will cover that up with a giant piece of Anubias right in the middle of your screen. And that'll kind of blend that area per se. Now what I have to work on is the rest of the transition from this mass in the corner down to the front. So to prevent this used base substrate from rolling down to the front, I'm going to put some more rocks in. So what I have to figure out now is kind of how I can get some rocks in here. Actually, that looks pretty good. But get some rocks in here that will, one, hide this big supporting bag here. This bag cannot be cut or come out because it's supporting, let me zoom in, supporting all of this stuff. So I've got to come up with some border rock system, which was not my original plan, but something to hold that stuff back. All right, we've got it done, guys. Totally different from my original plan, but tell me what you think. What are you thinking about the rocks here? Just kind of made a transition with these stones. It's also going to hide our mesh bag here in the back. We got our mesh bag down here. It's going to hide that. We're going to fill it in with aqua soil in just a second here. We'll do that live instead of these little cutscenes for you. But that is every single stone and every piece of spider wood that Landon sent to me. I think we made it work pretty good. So you can see with just one kit, I guess you would say, one box of wood, one box of stone, you can make a pretty sick aquascape. I think I blended about 4 different styles of aquascaping here with these valleys and stuff. Isn't that like Brazilian style or something with the valleys? But I think it looks pretty cool. If we just took this image here, that's like a full aquascape. But that would be half of a 75 gallons. So I would say one kit is good for a 40 gallon. That would be an amazing aquascape right there for a 40 gallon. I did cap it off on the end with kind of a capstone, if you will. It's not really a capstone, but you know what I mean, an end stone. So I think this section is done. Now, the big question is, what the heck am I going to do with all of this over here? It's just plain. After some deliberation, playing around with the 2 pieces of spiderwood that I had from my local fish store, I thought, well, maybe I could make it work with just leftover stuff that I had laying around the house here, that I could just attach it to one of these rocks, maybe bury it under the aqua soil, the rock that is, bury it under the aqua soil, and maybe just kind of put the wood over there and just finish this up. And I got to thinking, nah, that's just not the right way to do it. It's not going to match this side. We're going to go to all of this trouble and Landon's going to provide us stuff for this amazing nano paradise or whatever we're creating here, we should do it the right way. So I reached back out to Landon and I said, hey guys, I ran out of rock. I could use a little more. I've got a piece of wood I could use, but I could use a little more stone to match the right side of the aquarium with the left side of the aquarium. And they said, heck yeah, no problem. And they sent me another case of stone here. So we're going to continue this video and this aquascape as soon as I put that down. And we're going to do the right side here. So just as previously, I'm not going to do like a montage or nothing like that. I'm going to play around here a little bit and give you an update when I have a plan for how we're going to do this side, maybe similar to this. Let's see. Let's quickly compare case number 2 to case number 1 on the rocks. We do have a good selection of medium and small rocks, as we would expect. Some different shapes, a little more interest. We can get a little more texture going on here, but the pieces are about the same dimensions and the same volume of pieces. Is that right? Volume? I guess because it's by weight, I can tell you exactly what I'm going to use this piece for. I already know where it's going, but this is an awesome piece. So just wanted to confirm, you know, if you're doing a large aquascape, that you order multiple boxes, you're going to get similar rocks enough in size and shape that you can plan your aquascape out effectively. All right, guys, we got the base structure in here that's supporting this big piece of spider wood here. You can see we've got it interlaced pretty good. I think it looks like the root is kind of coming in or out of that rock right there. We got a couple little tiny gaps right there. I'll get my hand out of the way. Got little tunnels, little gaps, little valleys here, stuff like that. We do have our stone wall on the side here, little sideways capstones going on, so we've created kind of this valley. Now I would have liked to have had the valley a little more symmetrical, have this right side kind of kick out left a little more to add a little bit of depth. The roots need to look real natural coming in and out of this rock wall that we've built here. So it fits this piece kind of in this manner, which from this angle makes it look kind of like a straight hallway. But, you know, from different angles as you're walking around the aquarium, I think it's going to look okay, especially once we get some plants and other stuff filled in there. I've got 2 rocks I think are going to fit just to kind of add a little more depth to the scape. All right, the first stone we need to kind of get in here is going to be something to finish off this side here, this background. So I think I want to add some height back here. I have an idea that this stone should fit pretty well. What I love about this mountain stone here from Landon is it does fit together really well. If you've ever used like dragon stone, you know how the pieces just kind of sit together and kind of fit naturally. And with the textures here, it doesn't look out of place. You don't have different lines or striations and stuff. It all kind of looks symmetrical. If I pop you off the tripod, you can see from this straight on angle here, we just added some depth. You see how now the branch comes across the front, and you don't really notice it, but then you have this rock in the background, and it kind of hides the transition from this stone. You can barely even see the transition now. That's what we want, just a little bit of blended depth so that when you're kind of traveling around with your eye, you really don't notice an end space or an empty space. Now, when I walk into the room, this is the angle that I get, so walking in, I will have a little bit of a valley back here. Now, just like we added some depth with that back stone there, where that branch comes across the front, we want to do the same thing here. I'm noticing a dead space right here where this little tunnel between the branches are. It just looks too plain. We can maintain our valley in the back, but add a little bit of interest by putting this one right here, so that you can see from the top view here what I did. There's the stone back here, just kind of sitting next to this rock, just kind of sitting on it / next to it. We will glue it in place. And then this one here, same deal, just kind of sitting behind all of the rocks here. I should still have a little bit of space for cleaning the glass, although this may be the only algae spot right here because I don't think I'm going to have enough room to really clean the glass there. I can get a scraper back there, but that's going to be about it. So that'll be our problem spot for the aquarium. Every aquarium has one. Looking at the scape, this is what we wanted to do. It's not much. You don't see much. You're just going to see this little peak right here. But as you're kind of looking through the scape, especially from this angle, it finishes off that valley, doesn't it? Kind of takes the valley into the back there. You can see the edge of the other top of that stone kind of right there. Just a little bit. It's not much, but from different angles as you're looking, and of course, you know, the human eye is much better than the camera at kind of seeing the whole big picture. But hopefully that kind of shows you just filling in that edge a little bit. So there you go. There's the left side, right side. This is pretty much hardscape complete in this aquarium. I have 3 more stones I'm going to use as an accent. One bigger one's going to go about right here. But before we do all that, we need to smooth out this base substrate and add our LANDEN soil on top to finish off the, well, substrate. Now, we finally get to put our LANDEN aqua soil in there. I've got 3 bags of this provided by LANDEN, but I had a little grow tray experiment I was doing for a long time that just didn't work out. Anyway, I'm going to start by using this because why waste it? It's the same aqua soil. I'm just going to pour this in the front here just to get it in there. Maybe a little over here on this side. Now this LANDEN aqua soil holds together really well, and that's due to the different granule sizes. The different grain sizes is what I really like about the LANDEN aqua soil. It allows you to make steep slopes and valleys and hold things in place and etc., etc. All right, time to grab a bag of soil here from LANDEN and get it into the corner. I do like their little quick tear corners here. Makes it really awesome to get a corner, well, torn off and make it easier to pour. I'm just going to pour in the back here and just start filling this in. Get a natural slope going here. You see the pour rate with the little quick tear tab on these bags? I love it. All right, we'll just kind of fill this in back here. Should be good. Move over to this side. Get this filled in a little bit here. All right, 1 bag in. There we go. We're all smoothed out there on this side at least. And you can see, just makes things look nice and even, uniform. The rocks look like they're actually coming out of the earth now. To give you an idea of our depth, we'll come around to this side. You can see the kind of amount of aqua soil I have laying on the base substrate. There is a frame around this aquarium, so I like to have the bottom of whatever substrate you're using, in our case aqua soil. I like it to be right at that line. Here's a good example of what I mean. If it's below the frame, it just doesn't look great. So let's get this side filled in over here, and I think we're ready to flood it. All right, let's see if I did okay in my design here once we cover this supporting substrate bag. Just fill all that in there. Push it down around here. I'm wondering if we're going to eventually see that mesh bag. It's pretty close to the surface, but we got all the aqua soil in there. It's brushed around the rocks, so the rocks look like they're kind of coming out of the soil. You got all these little valleys in here, which is really cool. Some rocks that kind of go down into the substrate, or what looks like goes down into the earth. Really cool. You can see in the front here we have our soil level right at the edge of the frame of the aquarium. That gives us about an inch of planting depth, but also, again, aesthetically looks pleasing. So the whole thing is soiled, I guess, and we need 2 finishing touches. I think it's a little bare right back here in that background area, and we have a nice rock over here. I think I want to match it over here. Not supposed to do symmetry in aquariums, but hey, it's my Aquascape. I'll do what I want. Phew, all right, what a build. Let's go ahead and flood the aquarium. I want to flood this and let that spiderwood do its weird slimy phase before I go and add plants. I don't want that slime. There's a lot of spiderwood in here, so I don't want all that slime to drift around onto the plants and stuff. We have a lot of aqua soil in here. We're going to have an ammonia leach for a little bit because of the high nutrients in that LANDEN aqua soil. We have that old substrate as a bacteria that should help get this cycle going a little quicker. We got to get our filter hooked up here, and we're going to let it run for a while until that slimy phase is gone. That way I don't have to worry about it killing any plants that I attach to the wood. All right, we're all filled up with dechlorinated water, and things are looking really good. But why dechlorinated water? There ain't no fish in there. That's true. There's no livestock in the aquarium, but we're using dechlorinated water because remember, our substrate that's under this aqua soil has got some bacteria, we hope. So we don't want to kill that bacteria. We have our new filter down here, essentially new. I mean, I didn't like sterilize it, but it's been sealed up, though dry, for the past week. So I don't know how much bacteria is left in there. Dechlorinated water so we don't kill our bacteria. All right, and I do want to go with the LANDEN lily pipes. I took this off of an aquarium that I'm going to be breaking down, the 10-gallon guppy, 10-gallon molly aquarium. If you guys are familiar with that and you watch the channel, it's going to get broken down because all the plants are going to go in here. So I want to take the stainless steel lily pipes that LANDEN makes, and I want to put them in here. Now, we do have a slight issue. We have the clamps that LANDEN produces is designed for rimless aquariums. Now, in comparison to my thumb, look at the gap on that thing. That would fit a pretty thick, chunky piece of glass, but it does not fit a big, chunky piece of plastic from these lower-end aquariums. So, if you kind of reach your finger underneath there, you'll see that there is a little bit of space in between there before you get to the glass. I'm going to take a Dremel, not to here, but in the back here, and I'm going to Dremel out a couple of spaces for these clamps to go, and hopefully be able to get them to clamp onto the edge of this aquarium. All right, there we are. We got the notches cut. Now, I didn't actually show the process of me cutting these notches here because I don't want to be responsible if you try this and you end up, I don't know, chipping your glass or something like that. You can see how the lip of the glass or the edge of the glass is actually behind the lip of the frame, if that makes sense here. There's a little bit of a gap right there. So go on with the Dremel if you feel confident with it. If you need to get some sort of clamps on there, I just really love the LANDEN lily pipes. Stainless steel is my new jam. They don't get dirty. You don't see them dirty. And now I can easily install these. They sit right over the edge like so. All right, guys, we got our filter installed here using the vinyl hose instead of the Fluval ribbed hosing. Running up to our LANDEN lily pipes here, stainless steel, looking good. So the filter's running. I got one more thing I want to do. We got this little surface scum stuff here. And so I'm going to put in one of these little guys. Where's it at? Right here, little skimmer. Just a little cheapo skimmer. It was an Aqua Neat Focus Aqua Neat skimmer. I got it on Amazon. Pretty good little guy. I've never had any problems with it. So I'm going to drop this in. That's going to take care of all of our surface scum floating around here. All right, got our skimmer installed here. Just a temporary little guy here. He's probably not going to be there forever, but who knows? I might install it permanently on the other side. You can see that immediately, just doing a fantastic job pulling all of that scum in there. Now I'm going to leave this little surface skimmer installed for the duration of the bacterial phase, which brings us to the final thing we need to add to the aquarium in this video. And that's going to be adding our LANDEN EcoVive nitrifying bacteria. So per the instructions here, it is 4 capfuls per 26 gallons. I'm going to kind of multiply that by 3. That should get us close to 75 gallons. So 4 times 3 would be 12. I'm going to do like 11 capfuls. That should be pretty close to 75 gallons if my math is anywhere near correct. So I'm going to put 11 capfuls of this in here. That's going to jumpstart our nitrifying bacteria cycle. What am I trying to say? Our nitrogen cycle is going to jumpstart that nitrogen cycle, help any bacteria that was in our lower substrate there, and maybe help eat some of the stuff that comes off this wood. So I'm going to do 11 caps here. Let's get it in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so per the instructions here, every 3 to 7 days you want to do that dose until your ecosystem is established. So midweek I'm going to do another dose, and then at the end of the week I'll do a final dose, because we should be cycled at that point and ready to do scaping, aka add the plants to this aquarium and make it look really nice. We're going to do that in the next video though, because I already know this video is too long. So part 2 is coming up. Don't forget to enter to get one of these bottles here. I'm going to do a drawing of 12 winners between these 2 videos. If you skipped ahead to the end of the video and you don't know how to win these products, well, you might want to go back, do some searching, and find out where the instructions are somewhere in this video. The plant products here, which are the 2 fertilizers, they will be featured in the next video. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see the follow-up video on this. And while you're waiting for the follow-up video on this big old 75-gallon aquarium, check out some of my small itty-bitty aquarium videos. They're kind of cool too. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed this Aquascape. Thank you, LANDEN, so much for the support in making this project happen. I can't wait to do video 2, and we'll see you on video 2.